What's up with that?
Nothing to chit-chat about today. I did laugh, though, when I saw your note from yesterday about punching a Nazi. It's like literally up on my screen right now.
I know that one and the one with God damn, what was that guy's name? The one that moved over to Alexandria and then disappeared. Richard Spencer. Yeah, those two gifts are like the two best gifts ever. Watching Nazis get punched is always fun.
Always.
What's not to love about that? Hi, everybody. Ooh, look at that. People just rushing in here. Yay. We missed you too. Look, Florida woman's back.
Hi. Hold on, I'm just looking through my Substack notes from the last week.
Huh. Why does it keep pausing? Is the video running for you guys? Actually, can anyone actually hear me out there? That doesn't look right.
Hold on, let me pull it up on my screen.
Okay, so they can hear us. Like every time I press play, it like immediately pauses on my screen. Huh. All right, let me just reset my screen. Okay, no, it's fine. It was just Substack being weird on my computer because, Substack. Oh my God, did you see they're doing Substack TV?
No, but I'm not ready for TV.
Oh God, I think you're going to be able to stream like our stuff, like whatever things you want onto TV, which is going to be really, really odd. Hey, I could be a sock puppet on TV. We could be a kid show. Oh, punch a Nazi.
Ew, that was aggressive. I got a notification for a TikTok, and I clicked it and I opened it, but it was like the camera was down below my chin, and like it was like go live. Oh my God, and scare people. No, thank you.
Oh my God, I still have to do another TikTok video so we can start streaming on TikTok. God damn it, I forgot about that. Oh shit, I hope I could still do it. Ooh, I let that go slacky.
Okay, I'm cool. Yeah. It's my sock puppet.
Oh, yes. By the way, look, Florida woman has a sock puppet now. We have to mail it to her, so she will have her sock puppet hopefully for next week. Oh, you won't be on next week, so
no, I won't be gone.
So in 2 weeks, you have to tune in for the world premiere of the moving sock puppet Florida woman. Then it won't just be me and a bouncing bubble to my side here.
Bob, don't be barking at people. I can't see any of is anybody in our chat right now?
Yeah, 44 people.
But nobody has talked to us yet, right?
Yeah. A couple of people said they could see the background moving, see the sock puppet.
Weird, I didn't get any of those. Oh, okay, I see you. Okay.
I guess it was being buggy for both of us. Boo hiss. Oh, well, actually, no. You came in after they commented, so you wouldn't see anything before that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't populate with the comments before, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. It's just one of the many, many, many things that Substack has to fix.
I just saw your big red note in our red message to yourself in our notes.
Oh yeah, it depends on. Yeah, we'll get to that depending if we have time.
Yeah. love Grease.
Grease is the word.
I bet I would. I bet I wouldn't like Grease now that I'm older.
I know I liked it when I was a kid. I know I liked it when I was in my 20s. And then I realized what the message of it was when I was in my 30s. And I was like, ugh, that's a terrible message. It's like,
yeah, it's like watching Grey's Anatomy over again with Lexi. So like it was so weird, you know, it was so different watching it, you know, 20 years ago when it first started. Hello, Ashley. But now I watched it again with my son's girlfriend and saw it through. These people are so inappropriate. This is not how to work. I was like, oh, you're right. But it's so funny watching it with a Zoomer. She's like, man, your generation was toxic. I was like, oh my God, I think you're right. I think we might have been toxic.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's like every now and then I'll watch, I'll sit down with like Lila or Anastasia and we'll watch something that was like, oh my God, this was such a great anime from the 90s. And I'll watch it and I'm like, oh man, this is not holding up well at all.
Like even Friends, if you go back and watch Friends, some of it is like really cringe. You're like, ugh.
Yeah, I was never into Friends.
I love Friends.
A bunch of white people sitting around being white was never really my bag. So,
whatever, hater. So, but there was something else that I rewatched. Oh,
what's up,
it was
T-Ree?
Hi everyone. It was ER. So I was a huge ER fan when I was like a kid. Huge ER fan. And it ended like right after I turned 18. So I rewatched ER and I was like, damn, Dr. Green was really racist.
But it was okay back then. No, it wasn't.
It's crazy. It's crazy to see like the things that we thought were okay. Well, you know, we were always like, I always cringed, but not as hard as I do now when I watch it back.
Ooh, excuse me.
Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta blow my nose.
Yes, it's actually cold down in Florida. It's like under 50 degrees, so she's like freezing to death. Hey, what's up, Eric?
Yeah, he mansplained to me today, and I sent him a picture of my face. And I was wearing a sweater.
I apologize for the mansplaining in advance. Thank you very much. Ooh, 62 degrees down in Florida. Ooh, so cold.
Excuse me? It wasn't 62 degrees. It was like 33 degrees when I woke up this morning.
Oh, wow. 33 degrees. It is currently, let's see, what are we down to right now? Oh, it's 20 degrees, feels like 7.
Listen, let me tell you what it is right now, where I'm at. It's 46 where I'm at right now.
Yeah, cold temperatures will result in the risk of frozen pipes tonight. Take steps to protect pipes from freezing. Yeah, I have no hot water either. The hot water's out in the building.
I'm in Sarasota, Eric. So, listen, let me just tell you what our lows are going to next few days. 35 today. 35. It was 33 when I woke up. 33 tomorrow, 39 Friday, 35 Saturday with fucking 25 motherfucking degrees. 35. I haven't been in 25-degree weather since I was in New York.
Oh, you're going to love it.
Okay, so highs for the next, just let me tell you guys, since everybody's like, oh, you guys can't be cold. Listen. I am from Buffalo. Well, not technically, I'm from Niagara Falls, but whatever, it's the same thing. And when I was growing up, we used to jump into like 6-foot snowdrifts, okay? So like I know what cold is, but when you live somewhere for 30 years where it's like subtropical climate all year long, I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt the other day, and today I'm wearing a hoodie and shorts. Like, it gets cold. But listen, our highs for the next week are 59, 65, 69. Okay, that's not so bad. 58, 47, 47 as a high? No. 56, 64, 68, 75. Oh, that's a nice beach day. And then 63. It's going to be cold.
Yeah, we're not getting out of the 20s until Monday. And
And
every night it's going to be under 20 degrees.
You were in Chicago Friday. It was negative 12. Oh, yeah. I can't. Listen. Let me just tell you. When I go up north, I have an up north jacket. Yeah, see, you've lived in South Florida for 30 years. I have lived in the Sarasota area for 30 years. 30. How old am I? 33 years because I moved here when I was 7. So
Wow. Man, in your 40s.
I am only 40. Yeah, that's crazy. An 80-degree difference. That's wild. But when I go up north, when I go to Niagara Falls, I have a Niagara Falls jacket. My jacket is so big and fluffy that I take it off when I get into cars. Like, I literally will not fit into a car with my jacket on. So I have it off, put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off, put it on. And I'm like, I hate this.
Don't lie to her, Eric. She's 40. She's not that young. She's middle-aged now.
That's... Why are you being so aggressive with me today?
Because you weren't here last week. And
You
you're
know
not
that
gonna be
I'm-
here next week.
You know that I'm still mourning the loss of my Buffalo Bills playoff or Super Bowl dreams. Like, you should be very gentle with me.
I'm trying to take your mind off of it.
Oh, you're...
All right. Shall we get started?
Yeah. Are we ready, guys?
All right. I'm not belligerent. I'm aggressive. Belligerent. I can't spell belligerent.
Oh, you have all cold gear. Oh, you do business in Iceland 4 times a year. I wonder if we're going to take Iceland too.
Well, you know, Trump gets them confused, so
That's true.
we might as well just take both and then just name them Trump land.
The thing that I love about my sock puppet right now is the way that its tongue is just hanging out.
Wow.
But I do like that you piled my hair on top of it so it looks like me.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my
All right.
gosh.
Okay. Let's do this. Episode 83. Minneapolis tacos are delicious. Nom, 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 nom. Ahem. This is the Opinionated Ogre Podcast, your weekly rampage through current events with a little snark, a bit of foul language, and a lot of strong opinions. There are new episodes every... Bleh. Wow, this is a great start here. There are new episodes every Thursday, and they're not safe for work or polite company of any kind whatsoever. I am your podcast host, the Opinionated Ogre, and this is my co-host, the Frozen Florida Woman. Hello, Frozen Florida Woman. Did you fall out of a tree like an iguana?
Hello, everyone. No, almost, though. Almost. Not quite there.
I can just imagine you just like waking up, rolling out of bed, and just falling on the floor and just laying there. It's too cold. I cannot move.
No, I actually walked outside and I was like, oh, this isn't so bad. But I had a sweater on, so.
A sweater.
I'm wearing Crocs, though, and bike shorts, so.
I had to bust out my hoodie. I had to get out the hoodie. It was so cold when I went to go dig out my car, which is the first time I've had to dig out my car in like, I don't know, the better part of a decade. Like even with like snow, it hasn't been ice. So I've been able to drive my car through the snow or out of like whatever drifts they put in front of it when they plowed. Not this time. I actually had to dig my car out, which was different. I was like, thank God we got lucky. Because if it had been frozen rain, if it had been sleet instead of frozen rain,
Right.
It would have been like, so many downed power lines, so many downed trees, everything just would still be a block of ice. It was pretty bad.
Well,
even then.
Well, Mr. Florida Woman was wearing 2 pairs of pants today. He was wearing long johns. The Niagara Falls long johns that we have.
Oh,
because we
boy.
have winter gear for Niagara Falls. And he goes, well, I have 2 pants on, so it's not that bad. And I was like, do you? And I touched him. And I was like, oh, that's hilarious. You're wearing 2 pairs of pants.
The only time I do that is when I go out to play in the snow with Anastasia because, yeah, it's going out for like, 10, 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, sure. Going out for like an hour, I need a second pair of sweatpants on.
Yeah, well, he's from El Salvador, so he's not used to this kind of cold. Wait until Monday. It's gonna be great.
Maybe he'll be the iguana on the floor.
Yeah, seriously.
All right. This is the recording for January 29th, 2026, and we have a lot to get to on episode 83 of the OgPod. Are we ready to do this?
Yep.
Are you sure? You don't quite sound ready to do this.
You just got me at the wrong time. Roar. Wait, I don't think that you said, okay, then let's get to it. You didn't do that part.
Okay, no, actually, I didn't. Wait, could you hear the roar? Even though I had myself muted, I didn't know if that would actually play with myself muted.
I think you need to start over.
Okay. This is the recording for January 29th, 2026, and we have a lot to get to on episode 83 of the OgPod. Are we ready to do this?
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh boy. Oh yeah. Yep. This is gonna be a show today. All right, then let's get to it. It's time for the Ogre Nation news update.
Wait. Oh, roar.
Roar.
Listen, just really quickly, we have somebody who said, respectfully, you two are in Virginia and Florida. I'm in Buffalo, New York. So frankly, in this, we could shut the fuck up.
And sit the fuck down.
Excuse me. Do you not see a puppet right next to him with the buffalo? The Buffalo Bills logo on it?
Hey, no one's forcing you to live in 4 feet of snow.
Yeah, do what we did. Come to Florida.
Well, okay, no one should voluntarily go to Florida unless you're a Republican.
Maybe not
in
Florida.
that case, all Republicans should go to Florida. So when it sinks, the world will just be a better place.
Don't do what we're doing. Don't do what we're doing. Stay there. I'll be there soon. We can have some coffee. And DiCamillo's bread from Niagara Falls. All right, let's get to it.
All right. So enough with the fun stuff. Let's get serious here. We were going to start this week's episode with the murder of Alex Preddy, but on Tuesday night, and we're recording this Wednesday morning, Representative Ilhan Omar was attacked at a town hall in Minneapolis. I woke up this morning to read that, and that was unpleasant. A few minutes after she started speaking about abolishing ICE and demanding the resignation of Kristi Noem, 55-year-old Anthony James Kazmierczak, I'm sure I mangled his last name. He's a racist white man, you'll be shocked to learn. He rushed the stage and sprayed a liquid from a syringe on Representative Omar. He was tackled by security. Nice job. After the fact, guys. Very helpful. And arrested. It's not clear what the liquid was or what it was supposed to do, but nothing appears to have happened. For her part, Representative Omar refused to leave or stop the town hall, and she kept going. A hot mic did catch her muttering, "fucking asshole," before moving on. Love that. Trump has been targeting Omar for years and has really ramped up the violent rhetoric in the past couple of months, calling her various slurs and demanding she be removed from the country. This is stochastic. How do you pronounce it? Terrorism? Something along those lines. Stochastic terrorism. I'm sure I'm getting it roughly close. He wants her murdered so badly, or at the very least, terrorized into silence. Here's the thing, though, and it's really, really important to understand this, so pay attention. People are constantly telling us that both parties are the same, the uniparty, both sides, blah, 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 okay? Except Only Republicans constantly incite violence against their political opponents and the people they hate, which is everyone. And while some Republicans came out and condemned the attack, most Republicans kept their mouths shut and looked away, afraid to anger Trump, lest he send his mob after them instead. And that's another thing that separates the parties. Republicans are 2-1 fucking cowards. They live in constant fear of being murdered by their own base, so they bend the knee to the Mad King and pray he doesn't target them, or that Tucker Carlson or Laura Loomer or Steve Bannon doesn't label them a traitor and put a target on their back. But Democrats have been getting credible death threats non-stop for decades from the far right and just the regular right at this point. And even though Democrats have been attacked and murdered, they keep doing the job because it's important, while Republicans run and hide. Because Republicans are terrorists and they're spineless little shits, and we are not. And that is why they're going to fucking lose.
Yeah, and I just want to interrupt here to remind everybody that it's only been 7 months since Democratic lawmaker Melissa Hortman and her husband, Mark, were murdered in their Minnesota home. Her colleague, Senator John Hoffman, was shot 9 times by the same gunman, and his wife, Yvette, was shot 8 times. They both survived, but they're still recovering. Trump, who, by the way, never said a fucking word about those attacks, damn sure knew about them when he began attacking Minnesota and Ilhan Omar. He just doesn't care.
He cares because he wants more of it. I'm sure he thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, probably. Well, he doesn't care when his words lead to violence because violence is what he fucking craves. He loves the idea of people murdering for him. He laughed when Paul Pelosi was attacked in his home by another MAGA lunatic. He gets off on this kind of shit because his daddy never loved him. So he has to find it from his deplorable base. What's the greatest expression of love than I will murder in your name? Right.
And he just eats it up. He loves the idea of people killing for him.
He does.
So, I mean, that's one of the reasons he wants so badly to just have the military go out there and shoot his political opponents. Because if he can order people to kill for him, that's like the ultimate fucking high for a narcissist, for a malignant narcissist. It's like, I can just have people killed just by wiggling my little tiny fat fingers. Wow. So, all right. Let's get on to the rest of the bullshit that's going on in Minnesota.
So, as you all know by now, Border Patrol killed another American citizen in Minneapolis. Alex Jeffrey Preddy was a 37-year-old ICU nurse who worked for Veterans Affairs. He dedicated his life to taking care of veterans, the people who served our nation or who are serving our nation, in their greatest time of need. And I know that you have all probably read the numerous accounts of what happened or watched the videos from every angle imaginable. But I'm just going to repeat it again because it's so important that we all stand up against this regime and scream the fucking truth because they're still lying about what happened. So on Saturday, Preddy put himself between 2 women and rabid federal agents. Sorry, hold on one second. The agents were attacking the women who appeared to be ICE observers or protesters. I'm not sure. So Alex tried to stop them while recording them on his phone. When an ICE agent attacked one woman, he just pushed her down for no reason. He put himself between the ICE agent and the woman and reached back, and his final words were, "Are you okay?" The Border Patrol agent at that point sprayed him in the face with a chemical agent. Several agents then grabbed him and took him to the ground, pinning his legs and his arms. And in his arm, he still had his phone. And in his other arm, he had nothing. While he was being subdued, an agent repeatedly hit him in the head with a pepper spray can. Another agent walked over with empty hands, reached down, and grabbed Alex's legal firearm out of his holster, which was on his hip. And then there's some confusion over whether or not the agent accidentally fired Alex's gun. I think that that's kind of been cleared up by now. It doesn't appear that he did. But what is absolutely clear is that Alex no longer had his weapon on him. As the agent walked away with Alex's gun, another agent almost immediately unholstered his own weapon, pointed it at Alex's back, and then fired directly into his back at very close range, multiple times. The agent who pepper sprayed him also pulled out his gun and began firing at him. At this point, the agent who shot him first then started firing more. In total, they shot him 10 times while he was lying on the ground. Not a threat. A pediatrician who was on the scene spoke to, filled out an affidavit. It was a sworn affidavit, and then the media reported on it. He said that Border Patrol refused to allow him access to Alex in the immediate aftermath of the shooting. He said it sounded as though they were counting the bullet wounds in his body. Only after he argued with them did they allow him to begin performing CPR, but unfortunately it was too late. It's important to understand that DHS agents continue to refuse medical aid to people they're shooting in the critical moments afterwards, and this cannot be seen as anything other than ensuring the death of the victims. Federal agents are legally required to render first aid, and withholding it is a crime in itself. And I should also say that the media is reporting that the agents began performing first aid on him, but the pediatrician again said they were not. They had flipped him onto his side in a position that he should not have been in with that many bullet holes. He should have been, laying on his back so they could perform first aid, but they had him on his side and they were counting the bullet wounds. And that statement was supported by the woman who was standing directly behind it and filming, because she was interviewed by Anderson Cooper. And she too said that they were counting the bullet wounds.
Yeah, it was like a fucking trophy for them. It's like, oh man, shit, look how many times we fucking shot him. Oh, yeah. Isn't that awesome?
She described it as counting the bullet holes like he was a deer.
Yeah, these are fucking sick people. These are sick fucking deranged people. It's a fucking video game to them.
They were clapping. One of the agents was clapping, and I heard that another one was high-fiving. So, yes, or fist bumping or something. So you're right.
Yeah. When we fucking come for these people, they're going to be absolutely fucking shocked. Like, I don't understand. What did we do wrong? And it's like, okay. And that's why you're going to spend the next 20 to 25 years in fucking prison. You literally do not understand what you did wrong. You're that fucking disassociated from reality and human fucking decency. You are an absolute fucking menace and threat to society. And you cannot be fucking allowed to be walking around, because when they're fired and they're, blackballed or blacklisted and they can't fucking get a job in law enforcement, they're immediately going to fucking go right back to their militias, pick up guns and become anti-government terrorists. So, okay, might as well just nip that in the bud now. Now, of course, the fascists in the federal government immediately lied about what happened. The Department of Homeland Security claimed that Preddy went to the protest with a gun and 2 magazines with the intention to kill federal agents, as if they had any fucking idea what he was thinking. They said he, quote, approached the agents with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun, which is technically true. He had one on him. So technically, that's true. They just neglected to mention the fact that it was holstered and he never touched it. Right. The agents were therefore forced to fire, quote unquote, defensive shots, which was complete bullshit. But Trump still repeated the lie in a tweet, because Trump is, Trump just repeats whatever he's told to say, because he's a fucking puppet. I would know. I'm a puppet. Now, FBI Director Kash Patel appeared on Sunday Morning Futures with Maria Bartiromo Sunday morning and said You cannot bring a firearm loaded with multiple magazines to any sort of protest you want. It's that simple. You don't have the right to break the law, which is interesting because, first of all, that is not what the law or the Constitution says. Second, Kash Patel literally does not believe that. In 2021, Patel offered Kyle Rittenhouse, that's the teen who crossed state lines with an AR-15 to go to a protest so he could shoot people. Kash Patel offered him free legal services to sue the media for calling him a murderer. He made the offer on a white supremacist podcast, naturally. And during the interview, he demanded to know where Kyle Rittenhouse's due process was and accused the left of throwing out the Constitution. Oh, the fucking irony. While the Trump regime desperately tried to paint an ICU nurse, for veterans no less, as an unhinged lunatic bent on mass murder, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle called for the regime to cooperate with state law enforcement officers because this was a murder one step too far for them. GOP Senator Bill Cassidy called the shooting incredibly disturbing and warned that the credibility of ICE and DHS are at stake. Yeah, okay. Senator Lisa Murkowski was very concerned. No, I'm sorry. No, wait, that was Susan Collins. But Murkowski said ICE agents do not have carte blanche in carrying out their duties. Like just shooting people for fun. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stint, also Republican, appeared on CNN State of the Union and said, and so what's the goal now? Is it just to deport every single non-U.S. citizen? I don't think that's what Americans want. But it is what Stephen Miller wants.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's happening here. Gun groups have been extremely pissed off about the regime's repeated statements that legally carrying a firearm to a protest is grounds for execution by the state. Because this is literally what they've been working towards for decades, that you can carry a gun anywheres.
Right. Remember the Bundy wackos that took over the federal park or whatever, the Federal Reserve with guns?
Yeah.
And the gun groups supported them.
Yeah, this was after they had pointed their guns at federal agents. Mind you, it was their legal right to point guns at federal agents. It's like if there's any time a federal agent can pull their gun and blow your head off, it's when you point a gun at them.
And just remember when the cops did finally kill one of them because he was like trying to shoot at them. And then the right was like, oh my God, I can't believe they murdered this American. They murdered this righteous American hero.
Yeah, and thank God that was all on video because otherwise they would have turned that into such a huge they would have turned that into like the next Waco. Except the fact that it was on video that he got out of his car, pulled his gun, and was trying to kill them.
Yeah.
And they had to shoot him in self-defense. It was so clear that even they really wanted to make it into a thing, but it was like, guys, he pulled on them and he was trying to kill them.
Right.
So, no.
Right. Unlike Alex, who had his gun holstered.
Yes, but he was like, a dangerous domestic terrorist.
Yes.
But the Minnesota Gun Owners Caucus issued multiple statements in the wake of Alex's murder, including one that said, every peaceable Minnesotan has the right to keep and bear arms, including while attending protests, acting as observers, or exercising their First Amendment rights. These rights do not disappear when someone is lawfully armed. Now, we are not huge pro-gun everywhere people here on the OGPod, but the right has made it legal to carry guns. We don't like it, but it is what it is. And since that's the case, the regime does not get to decide who gets to carry them and who doesn't, depending on their politics. And ICE definitely does not get to decide who lives and who dies based on whether that they feel like upholding the right to bear arms that day. That's a bit of a problem.
Yeah, I'm literally wearing a Mom's Demand action shirt right now. So it's not like we are pro-gun nuts on this show.
Yeah, we really aren't. But it's like, you know what? You wanted guns everywhere. Now you don't get to start shooting people because it's the liberals carrying guns.
Right. I am pro-Constitution, though. We are pro-Constitution nuts on this podcast, unlike the fucking right. But anyways, I saw, just really quick, I saw something that John Stewart, I think he said, I wasn't surprised when you threw out the 4th Amendment, the 14th Amendment. And he goes, the Second Amendment?
It's just fascism. I mean, honestly, if they keep pushing it with the gun thing, I'm kind of one, because from what I understand, Frederick Pogue, he was our guest host last week, had posted that all over the fucking gun, the gun chat rooms, they're freaking out about this. Like the gun nuts are like, oh fuck that, this is the fucking tyranny we were talking about. It's like, oh, now you've noticed.
Oh, you're right.
You noticed that, did you?
Just figured that out, huh? So ICE isn't just murdering people in the streets; they're also shitting all over the Constitution. A couple of weeks ago, a video of ICE breaking into Garrison Gibson's Minneapolis home with a battering ram spread across social media. The agents refused to show family members a judicial warrant and arrested Gibson. A federal judge ordered the man's immediate release and accused the government of violating Gibson's oh my God. Let me just start again. See, we were doing so well, but now I'm getting all riled up. So a federal judge ordered the man's immediate release and accused the government of violating his 4th Amendment rights. Well, it turns out that ICE has been training new recruits with a memo that, quote, gives them permission to search homes without a judicial warrant. Weird. A whistleblower leaked the memo in a complaint to Congress. It was signed in May by acting ICE Director Todd Lyons, and it states, quote, although the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, DHS, has not historically relied on administrative warrants alone to arrest aliens subject to final orders of removal in their place of residence, the DHS Office of the General Counsel has recently determined that the U.S. Constitution, the Immigration and Nationality Act, and the immigration regulations do not prohibit relying on administrative orders.
Which is like complete bullshit. It's like, yeah, we just made this thing up so we can do thing that we want to do that we all know is illegal. It's like, oh, fuck you.
Right. Administrative warrants for this purpose. Obviously, that's fucking absurd. And the judge in Gibson's case agreed. It's really important that when this regime falls, all of these people are tried, convicted, and put in prison for decades for their crimes. You cannot just fucking break into people's homes because you want to.
And you can't just whip up fake bullshit legal memos. Like,
right.
John Ho, who's the guy that wrote up the memo, the torture memo during the Bush regime?
Oh, I was too young for that. I don't remember.
It was something Ho. John Ho, David Ho, but he never paid a price for that. He was never sanctioned. He was never disbarred. It's like you literally just fabricated a legal justification for something that is 100% illegal and unconstitutional. And
Woo.
What's that?
MX, which I'm assuming is our one friend, said Woo. His last name was Woo.
Oh, John Woo? Okay. Yeah, he just never paid a price for it. And he got to go on to just keep being a right-wing hack. And it's like, no, fuck that. You can't be the architect of a torture regime and get to go on with your fucking life.
Yeah, you can't literally just be like, fuck the Constitution.
It's like,
this is what we're going to do.
The Constitution doesn't matter. Ta-da!
In a country where we have how many guns?
400 million.
This is a really bad idea.
Yeah, fucking castle doctrine. They're going to kick.
This is a really bad idea.
Fire.
Because let me tell you, if somebody broke into my house that way, if somebody just stomped in my door, it would be a really bad day for them because My brother does not fuck around.
And then to be like, oh, he was a terrorist shooter. It's like, you were fucking in my house. I don't know who the fuck you were. I shot
Exactly.
people that stomped through my door. Why wouldn't I?
Right. Imagine somebody breaking into your door with a fucking battering ram with their faces covered and street clothes on.
Yep. We don't know who the fuck you are.
It's just going to end very badly.
Castle Doctrine, stand your ground. It's what the right's been demanding for fucking decades. Don't be surprised when it fucking backfires.
There's a reason that they're not doing this in states like Florida.
It's just a matter of time until they pick the wrong fucking house to do it to, though.
It's true.
They don't even know which houses they're kicking the door down to.
That's the problem.
They're going to fucking do it to a gun nut, and the gun nut's going to be like, I don't know who the fuck this is, but I'm going to shoot him.
Right, and that is the problem with breaking into people's houses without a warrant. Because when you get a warrant, 90% of the times there have been, exceptions to this rule, as we have found out, like Breonna Taylor. But 90% of the time, a judge knows that the person that they are looking for is in that house. You know what I mean? So just randomly breaking people's doors down in a country with so many guns is a dangerous fucking game. But anyways, moving on.
All right. Since we're talking about the lawlessness of Stephen Miller's Gestapo in Minnesota, it's important to understand the cruelty and sadism at work here. If you haven't seen the pictures already, 5-year-old Liam Ramos was a cute little kid wearing a blue bunny hat, at least I think it's a bunny, and a Spider-Man backpack. This could have been any one of a couple of hundred different kids that I saw the entire time, Anastasia and Jordan were in elementary school. I saw hundreds of kids just like this. And there he was, being kidnapped by ICE and used as bait to lure his father outside. Then they were both, quote unquote, arrested and taken to fucking Texas. Remember, ICE has been removing people from the state they kidnapped them in to make it harder for families to locate them and provide legal aid. That's the reason they do this. They try to disappear them. And that's part of their whole thing. And it's all part of the regime's attack on the rule of law. Both Liam and his father are here legally. They arrived at a port of entry like they're supposed to, and they have an asylum case pending like they're supposed to. But ICE doesn't care. They have to meet Stephen Miller's quota, so they traumatize this kindergartner just like they're traumatizing hundreds and thousands of children across the country. The facility Liam and his father were sent to, again, is in Texas, where families have been filing legal complaints about not receiving enough food or medical attention, and the food they receive have fucking worms in it. Again, children are there. This deliberate deprivation has been reported in multiple facilities that ICE and CPB are running. And it's exactly the kind of intentional act designed to inflict physical and psychological pain on the regime's prisoners. And we keep saying this, and it's really, really important that we do not lose sight of this. All of the people involved have to be prosecuted for crimes against humanity without fail.
So speaking of the assholes in charge of the cruel-ass ICE raids, Greg Bovino and Kristi Noem insisted protests and accountability are terrorism in wake of the shooting. They thought that they could lie to the American public about Alex's murder like they did about the murder of the mother of 3, Renee Good, the Cuban immigrant in Texas who was strangled to death, and every other person hurt and murdered by America's brown shirts. But they failed to realize that A, video completely debunked their lies about the shooting. B, Republicans might have sympathy for a woman in a same-sex marriage, but they really, really, really hate it when white men are murdered. And 3, or C, they really, really, really hate it when a gun owner is killed while exercising their Second Amendment rights. This mistake cost Bovino his job as, quote, commander at large.
You'd be Nazi commander at large. Remember, this is the guy that cosplays as a Nazi. He literally had a tailor-made outfit to resemble Nazi outfits.
Yeah, he claimed that he's had that jacket for like 20 years, but
I can fucking believe it because he wants to be a Nazi.
yeah.
Sure, he had it hanging in his fucking closet this whole time. Like, man, I can't wait to wear this out in public. You know,
And it was the whole look. It was the whole look.
Yeah, the extra small Nazi coat.
But so he also was apparently locked out of his social media accounts.
Oh.
So then on Monday, the regime announced that border czar Tom Homan is now in charge of the ICE raids, and Bovino is going back to California and will allegedly be retiring soon. So my advice to Minnesota residents is that if you see Homan terrorizing neighborhoods, just throw some cash in a kava bag and bribe him with it.
Still want to know where that $50,000 went. Every time he's asked about it, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything illegal. It's like, okay, but where's the $50,000?
Right. So Bovino, back to Bovino, make no mistake, being sent back to California wasn't a punishment for allowing his agents to murder Americans. He still has a cushy job with ICE. He's still going to get his fucking retirement benefits. We're still paying this Nazi fuck to violate our rights. The Trump regime just thinks that if they take him out of the limelight for a little bit and lets him retire, probably with, like I said, a juicy pension larger than he should have, that we're just going to forget about him. And it's true that this country is full of people who have the attention spans of goldfish. But we will never forget what they've done to families and children in this country with their racist ass immigration policies. And I can tell you, as I've said many times on the show, it impacts my family directly. And it's been fucking horrible. I will never forget this. The same goes for Kristi Noem and her fuck toy, or whatever the fuck that guy is, Corey Lewandowski. Didn't he beat his wife or something and have to resign in honestly, Trump's first term?
I kind of lost track of which one.
Or a reporter.
I lose track of which ones of Trump's aides and allies and associates have beaten their wives and girlfriends because there's so many of them.
Yeah, that's true. Well, they're also rumored to be on the chopping block. I even saw something that said Stephen Miller was iced out of a meeting this week.
Well, he's the main reason that Trump is so fucking unpopular right now.
No, I know. So So I heard that he was iced out of a meeting, but
no pun intended.
I don't know. Yeah. But Senate Republicans are throwing Noem under the bus because they want to save their majority in November. But good luck with that. They made this mess, and now they're going to own every drop of blood that's spilled. And just to point out, even honestly, do I want to see Noem gone? Sure. But it doesn't matter if she's there or not, because she's not the one who's in charge. So that's what people need to understand. Yes, do we want her gone? Does she suck? Would it give me a lot of joy to see her fired? Absolutely. But would that change any of the dynamics happening right now in the Department of Homeland Security? No. Because Stephen Miller, like we said, is the one who's in charge.
Yep. Same thing with what's her name? Pam Bondi. She's not in charge of the Department of Justice. She's just the person who signs the papers. She just takes orders.
Exactly.
Stephen Miller and Russ Fulton. She doesn't actually run the Department of Justice.
Exactly. Noem is just she's just the face of the white supremacist agenda. She's a loyal attack dog, willing to lie about anything and violate the law in service to her master. But all that loyalty counts for exactly nothing when doing exactly what you've been ordered to do becomes a liability, as she's finding out. She'll be lucky if she can secure a pardon. And when the state's attorneys general come for her, she will not get a dime from Trump to help pay for her defense, especially after she tried to throw Stephen Miller under the bus by leaking to the press that Miller was the one who told everyone to say Preddy wanted to massacre ICE agents. You're on your own now, Kristi. And we know, Trump will just look at all of the people that he's thrown under the bus. His old lawyer. What was that guy's name?
Which one?
Oh my God, the one that operated like a mob boss, Michael Cohen.
Oh,
Like
the one
they
that,
were besties.
yeah, the one that went back to him, like, kissing his ass. Please give me a pardon.
Exactly. Yeah, they were besties, and look at him. Yeah, he throws his own kids under the bus. He buried his fucking ex-wife on his golf course. Like,
After she accidentally fell down a flight of stairs and died.
yeah. So I mean, like, Christy Nome, it doesn't matter what she does. That girl, what a dumbass. And she actually would have had a bright Republican career ahead of her, and now she's damaged goods.
Yep. Oh well, with a Mar-a-Lago face.
Ugh. It's unfortunate because she was attractive, and I don't know what the fuck is going on.
There was a couple of them that were just very attractive. She was quite attractive, and her face is now just.
I don't like to talk about women's looks, but
if it's self-inflicted like that.
Yeah, I just don't know what's happening with her. I don't know what's happening with that whole. I heard that is a popular look. I don't understand it myself, but
well, they do it because Trump likes it.
Oh, they're all seeing the same plastic surgeon. I mean, whatever they want to do, that's just whatever. Anyways, moving on.
So one last thing before we finish up talking about Minnesota. Chris Madell is an attorney who provided legal advice to Jonathan Ross. That would be the piece of shit that murdered Renee Good. He announced his bid as the Republican nomination for Minnesota governor earlier this month, and he quickly rose to prominence. He was quite popular.
Yes, because he was providing legal advice to a murderer.
Right.
Because he rose to prominence because he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, they Republicans eat that sort of thing up. But that didn't last long. On Monday, he dropped out of the race. In a shocking announcement, Mandel, whatever, said he could not support the GOP's quote-unquote retribution on Minnesotans, and he also cannot, quote, count himself a member of a party that would do so. So he basically dropped out of the race and out of the Republican Party. He explained that he originally supported the position by Trump that he would deport violent criminals, but the efforts have, quote, expanded far beyond its stated focus on true public safety threats. No. Really? Please. It seems that Madell isn't a fan of gunning people down in the streets. Well, white men, anyway, and using children as bait. He went on to say, the United States citizens, particularly those of color, live in fear. United States citizens are carrying papers to prove their citizenship. That is wrong. According to Madell, he made the decision to drop out of the race after speaking to people across his state and learning how many were racially profiled. He called the actions by the federal government unconstitutional and slammed them for carrying out searches on homes without judicial warrants. Ultimately, the former candidate said he had to look his kids in the eyes and tell them he'd done the right thing, and dropping out was the right thing. Now, we can't say if Madell is actually making a moral decision or a political one. Maybe he is ashamed to look his kids in the eyes, although he certainly wasn't after the murder of Renee Good.
Thought that was perfectly fine.
Yeah, that was perfectly fine. Like, he was defending the guy who did it. And this whole time he's been perfectly fine. It's more likely he took a look at the toxic cesspit that is the GOP under Trump and accurately judging that running under the banner of murderous fascism is long-term career suicide. So,
yeah, that's what I think. I think that he's like, oh, I'm going to save myself because this ship is sinking.
Yep. It's like, no.
White man drama. Yes.
This might work out for me. And then Alex Preddy was killed and he said, no.
Yeah, because like I said, it was totally fine to gun down a woman who just dropped her 6-year-old off at school and who was just following ICE. But it's not okay to kill a white man in this country, a white gun-owning man. Yeah. And that doesn't mean that I think that Alex Preddy's murder was, I'm not attacking him as a person. I'm just saying that, Americans, we don't remember the names of the brown people that were killed by ICE. I can't even tell you their names.
Nope. And there was 7 other people just this year I mean,
Yeah.
we're not even done with January, and 7 other people have been murdered by ICE so far.
Yeah. I mean, one of them was killed, murdered in a prison a week ago or 2 weeks ago or something. So, you know, and I can't tell you his name. And it's not because I'm not in this. It's because the media, who's, you know, the media has, you know, made us think that white men are more important.
It's America.
And
Men are always more important.
well, I mean, this country has made us think that. Who were the first people to be able to vote in this country? Rich white men.
Rich white men. Rich racist white men.
So you kill, you know, it was the problem that Alex Preddy's murder presented for the Trump admin is that they couldn't smear him as a fucking raging lesbian or you know, a violent black man, or
he wasn't gay,
or murdering a murderous Hispanic man. You know what I mean? That they seriously killed a white gun-owning man who's dedicated his entire life to helping other people. I mean, he became a nurse when in 2021 when COVID was raging because he wanted to help people.
Exactly. It's
So,
like what are you going to do? It's like, oh, he's a nurse. How feminine. I mean, I haven't even heard that. I'm really surprised they didn't go there.
Yeah, and the media did. They have treated his murder differently than they treated Renee Good's murder. You know, they gave the administration or the regime the benefit of the doubt with Renee Good's murder. They, you know, published videos of her that looked like she was hitting them, even though we came to find out later that some of the videos that were being published were AI edited with AI to make it seem like her car was moving faster than it was. So, you know, they perpetuated this like hate against her, and they didn't do the same thing against Alex Preddy,
within hours,
right, which is good for us.
Yeah, all the major newspapers had headlines. Video does not support the administration's narrative.
Right, and it was good for us. Good for us, right? And I hate to say that it was good for us that they killed somebody who was as upstanding as him. But you know, it's just it's a sad world that we live in, and you know, with people who have children who are brown or who look ethnic.
I have to assume that, you know, the next couple of cities that ICE is sent to invade are not going to be majority white.
No, they did. No, they just sent him to Portland, Maine.
They're not going to hit it with the same kind of ferocity.
No, but they have been. It just isn't being reported.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard that all kinds of. Yeah, but you know, I think that the thing that everybody should realize about Minnesota that we're not really talking about, and then we're going to move on to headlines for short attention spans after this, but the thing that we should realize about Minnesota is like Minnesota is not different from any other town in America, right? It's not like they have extremely high number of immigrants or anything like that. But what's happening in Minnesota could happen anywhere. Like if they really wanted to carry out this mass deportation policy where they are going after every immigrant in this country, it is going to look like what it looks like in Minnesota. And the reason that the regime is kind of backtracking with that is because now Americans are seeing what's happening when this policy plays out as it's supposed to play out. Because make no mistake, what's happening in Minnesota is exactly how it's supposed to be happening. And, you know, they did it in a blue city, in a blue state, hoping that America would look at it and go, whatever. And then they would get us used to this. But this is what it would look like in every community across this country. And every community.
They do live in their Fox News bubble and their Twitter bubble where the only people they talk to are themselves. Where they figure, oh, well, you know, we'll roll in there, we'll smash some heads, and the liberals will go scurrying home and cry, and we'll just have all the, you know, we'll have the lip tears to drink, and we'll just laugh and laugh and laugh.
Right, and they're making it about Somalians because Somalian immigrants are black immigrants. And what do fucking white people fear more than black people, right?
Right. And then that didn't work out, and they were like, wait, we don't understand. Why are people still coming out to protest? Why are they so mad at us? They're legitimately confused about this. They don't understand why people are so angry at ICE, and that was before Renee Good and Alex Preddy got shot. They don't understand what the problem is, why it's not working, and it's like they fundamentally do not understand this country. They only understand Twitter and Fox News and MAGA land, and they don't understand the entire rest of us at all. They only understand that small chunk of the country, and they can't comprehend why it's not working the way they think it should.
Right. And I believe that they thought that they were going to roll into Minneapolis and it was going to be a reaction like the George Floyd murder got, where there was, a lot of unrest. And then Trump thought maybe it would be a good way to declare martial law, which is why he started talking about it. And what happened instead? Vigils have popped up all over across the city for Renee Good and Alex Preddy. And the only violent people are ICE officers or ICE agents and Border Patrol agents. Like, it's not playing out the way that they thought it would, but it is just important to understand that this is how they wanted it to happen. And they want to do this in every city and every town across this country.
And we are going to fucking get those emails and those documents. We are we got our hands on the document saying you can kick down doors with just one of our warrants.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need a judicial warrant. You can use one of our warrants. Oh yeah, no, we've determined you're legally allowed to do that. We are eventually going to get the email stating the regime says increase the violence, increase the pressure. We're trying to get a react. We will eventually, because someone will have kept that document.
And
it's not being all given out by verbal commands. There will be emails.
Right. And people are dying. And thank God to people like Alex Preddy and Renee Good. These are, it has to be the white people who stand up against this. It has to be us. Well, not me, because my family will be targeted, but you guys, you guys are the people who are standing up for it. And, we appreciate that. We see the sacrifice. Families like mine and Ogre's, because, you don't know it from looking at his puppet, but he is Puerto Rican and they don't think that he's American.
Puerto Rican and Jewish.
Puerto Rican and Jewish, but we appreciate you guys for standing up for us, because not all of us can be out in the street marching. I would like nothing more. But, I can't do it because it would turn not just my immediate family, but my extended family would be targets. So we appreciate you guys.
All right. We were going to talk about the SAVE Act, but we're going to have to skip that for this week. We'll circle back to that another time. But we are going to move on to headlines for short attention span.
Spans. So we're definitely heading into a partial government shutdown this Friday. On January 23rd, Trump signed a spending bill to fund several departments, including energy, commerce, and justice, and the interior, and then some other smaller agencies. But on January 30th, a chunk of the government will shut down.
About half, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I'm having trouble finding specifics on this, which is really annoying.
Yeah, well, some Senate Democrats were going to vote yes on the bill, which included billions in funding for DHS, which included ICE and CBP, even though the base was screaming bloody murder about it. Leave it to the centrist Dems to find a reason to not make waves because it might make Republicans mad, But now with the second cold-blooded murder in broad daylight, just 3 weeks on top of several more murders of immigrants in detention centers, Democrats are now refusing to vote on any funding for ICE at all. Wow. And this will not be a repeat of the previous shutdown and will almost certainly be resolved quickly. Republicans would normally refuse to back down, but with large parts of the government already funded and the indefensible optics of ICE murdering a white male gun owner, they're already talking about how to separate DHS funding from the larger bill so that they can at least keep the rest of the government open and not have to throw themselves on a live grenade that Stephen that is Stephen Miller's homicidal Gestapo. This is not a fight Republicans can win, and they know it, but they're trapped between an enraged public and Stephen Miller, who controls Donald Trump. We feel absolutely zero pity for them. Fuck them. They chose to let their party be taken over by fucking Nazis, and now they can go down with the sinking Nazi ship. And I just also want to point out that
glub.
This is not going to. So even if Democrats fight this fight, which, God, I hope they do, this is not going to stop what's happening in Minnesota and other parts of the country, because when they passed the big ugly bill, the MAGA murder budget included funding for ICE that is statutory funding, which means it's not affected by government shutdowns. It has to be paid.
Right.
It's like mandatory funding. But it's still a fight that we should have, because we shouldn't be giving them extra funding on top of that funding.
And if Democrats really, really push, because Republicans are running scared at the moment about this, they might be able to put some fucking curbs and limits on ICE,
which is what they're fighting for.
Right. They're demanding, not just a cut, not just reduced funding, but also, they have to wear body cameras. They have to fucking stop wearing masks. They have to be identifiable. They have to get more training. Now, I know people are complaining. It's like, well, you don't want to train the Nazis to be better. Well, okay, yes, but also if they're completely unfucking trained and you just throw them out there with a gun and a badge, that's how you get people killed really, really fast. Like if they have real training, like, hey, this is the fucking law. This is how you do your job. This is how you actually arrest people without, accidentally shooting 20 people in the process.
Right.
These guys don't even fucking know how to use their weapons properly.
No, ICE agents should have the same level of training that FBI agents go through.
And right now it's 47 days. 47 days is
as a nod to President Trump, the 47th fucking president.
Right,
like,
which is
what the fuck is that?
47 days is barely enough time to teach them how to fucking use their guns and not just randomly
shoot themselves
shooting.
In the dick.
Yeah.
It's barely enough time to teach them not to shoot themselves in the dick.
So no, I don't oppose the idea of forcing them to go through more training so they actually have some idea of how to conduct themselves in public and be safer about it. I know the point is for them to go out and terrorize people. I get that. But if you teach them to be even remotely more competent and professional, it's less likely they're going to panic and just start pulling the trigger.
Which is what happened to Alex Preddy. Somebody said he has a gun, and this dumb motherfucker turned around, pulled out his gun, and shot him in the back.
Yeah, and the other guy was like, oh my God, someone's shooting. I'm going to shoot too. It was just pure fucking panic.
Oh my God, it was... Oh. We have to move on because we'll just keep going.
All right. Speaking of general stupidity, the Greenland stupidity is still going on, even though it's no longer the front page headlines. After tacoing on invading the island and kicking off World War III, Trump's been bragging about a quote-unquote deal he made with NATO to take possession of the single American military base at Greenland as sovereign land. Now, right now, the base is ours, obviously, but the land still belongs to Greenland. That's kind of how it works pretty much everywhere in the world. We lease the land and we have a military base there. Trump is saying that the land that the base is on is going to become the actual property of the United States. But that's not going to happen because NATO can't make any deals at all on behalf of Greenland, even though that's what Trump is saying happened. And Greenland put out a public statement clearly saying the fuck it will. So if you're not sure exactly what happened with Greenland last week and why all this is happening in the first place, it's really not that complicated. Silicon Valley wants Greenland. That's why this is happening. A number of billionaire tech freaks have declared that Greenland is the perfect place to build their little freedom cities where they can own slaves, rape little children, and carry out illegal medical experiments so they become immortal overlords. And if you think I'm exaggerating that, I promise you, if anything, I am understating how fucking delusional and twisted these people are. Anyway, now that they own J.D. Vance and Donald Trump, they've been telling them to get Greenland. So that's what Trump's been trying to do. But the European Union threatened to crash our economy permanently by selling off billions in treasury bonds and turning the dollar into toilet paper.
Checkmate, bitch.
Now, Trump is still worried about the midterms, and an economic collapse guarantees his loss. Now, he's already going to lose, but this would absolutely fucking seal the deal. So he chickened out like he always does. Now he's trying to save face and lie his way into the best deal he can. So, art of the deal, my green ass.
I just, as you were talking and said immortal, I was just thinking about how much Elon Musk looks like he's already immortal because of all that weird plastic surgery he's had to his strange face.
They're just going to prop up his body in Madame Tussauds Wax Museum.
I mean, he looks like it. He looks like he's already belongs there.
Ugh, he's so creepy.
So I'm taking you guys way back to 2016. In 2016, Lindsey Graham joked that if someone killed Ted Cruz on the floor of the Senate and the trial was held in the Senate, nobody would be convicted of his murder.
I remember that.
In other words, everyone hated him. Everyone.
They can make a show, Everyone Hates Ted.
Right. Well, he recently demonstrated why so many of his own colleagues dislike him so much by throwing J.D. Vance under the bus.
Not that anyone likes J.D. Vance, but Jesus Christ.
I think I might like Ted Cruz more than I like J.D. Vance.
That's like saying you like third-degree burns more than you like dismemberment.
Well, I feel like it's more like I like second-degree burns more than I like third-degree burns. And I can say that as somebody who had second-degree burns on her hoo-ha from a Starbucks coffee. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Oh my God, it was terrible. So anyway, Axios published a bombshell report about secret recordings it had obtained of the Texas senator talking to donors last year about Mr. Hillbilly Elegy. This is from Axios. Quote, the recordings, nearly 10 minutes in total, provide an unvarnished look at how Cruz is positioning himself as a traditional free trade, pro-interventionist Republican ahead of a possible 2028 primary campaign against the less hawkish Vance. During his talks, Cruz cast Vance as a pawn of conservative podcaster Tucker Carlson. Cruz also accused Carlson of promoting anti-Semitism and an anti-Israel foreign policy in their well-publicized spats. I actually didn't realize that Ted Cruz and Tucker Carlson don't get along.
I mean, Ted Cruz doesn't get along with anybody, and he's not wrong about Carlson. You got to remember.
He's not wrong about him.
You got to remember, most of the Republican Party is still very, very pro-Israel for the whole Israel needs to exist so we can do the rapture thing, and Tucker Carlson is just
so that we can do the rapture thing.
And Tucker Carlson is just straight up going for the neo-Nazi vote now. And they don't give a shit about the rapture. So they don't care.
Just really quickly, I thought this podcast was only going to be 45 minutes today, but I was incorrect. Just really quickly, I do want to say how concerning it is that Republicans are just blatantly bringing people like Nick Fuentes into the fold. 10 years ago, that would have been unheard of. Now they know that they can't survive without the fucking Nazi vote.
I wrote. This is why I wrote that article. What, a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago? It was right before. I don't remember when I wrote it, but I wrote that article. The Nazis are going to win. That's the Civil War.
No, they are going to win.
the Nazis are going to take over the party.
I think they already did.
Well, I mean, not fully. Like they don't, they're not walking around waving Nazi flags at Republican rallies yet, but they're going to, because the party only goes in one direction. It only ratchets up to extremism in one direction. It never de-escalates. It can't de-escalate. And once you go full fascism, well, where do you go? What's after white nationalist fascism, right? It's a white nationalist fascist party, and you have to keep getting more extreme. What's more extreme than white nationalist fascism? Well, there's only Nazis after that. They're like the end boss of white nationalist fascism. That's like the perfected version of white nationalist fascism. Nazis.
They can survive. Shannon asks, can they survive with the Nazi vote? They can, because they've gerrymandered the fuck out of states. So.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. I don't know that they can. And this is what I wrote about in that article. Remember, the thing that keeps the Republican Party alive is both-siderism. That's it. That's what keeps them alive, is they can present, the press presents them as a normal political party. And then the public goes, oh, well, if they're just a normal political party, then I can still vote for them. You can't present Nazis as a normal political movement.
No, but they did whitewash Fuentes when they talk about him.
Right.
They don't talk about his most extreme ideas when they talk about him.
But that's for now. When they become the full-fledged Nazi party, you can't gently segue into, we believe in Adolf Hitler and the Holocaust, and we want to reenact it. There's no, well, Democrats are also just as extreme. Like, there is no other version to that, right? Democrats want great replacement. Well, wouldn't you have to actually find a Democrat that actually says that out loud? At least one? Just one. Find one Democrat that says, I believe in great replacement. No one says that. No one even hints at it. No one even insinuates it. So when they go full Nazi, the machine, the both sides machine breaks down. And now you have a choice. Black people, are you going to vote for Nazis? Latinos, are you going to vote for Nazis? Because let me tell you, Latinos and black people and Asians.
Well, black people aren't going to vote for Nazis because we saw that they didn't vote for Trump in the last election. But you know who did vote for the fucking Nazis? We will vote for Donald Trump. And now they're getting fucking deported.
Right. But when Donald Trump is gone and all that's left is a bunch of Nazis who have made it very, very clear that Latinos are not white people. No matter how fair-skinned they are, they will not accept them as white people. Latinos are going to have to make a choice. It's like you can either sit this election out, vote third party, or watch the Nazis march down your street and put you in a concentration camp because they don't give a fuck. You're Latino. They want you dead.
Yeah, I just think that
the press is going to have
first of all, I'm a pessimist.
I know, but the press it's going to be impossible for the press to turn around and say, well, on the one hand, you've got this candidate who wants to kill all the Jews and loves Adolf Hitler, and on the other hand, you've got Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez who wants universal health care.
Yeah,
my God,
I mean, that's true.
They're so extreme. Can't both sides meet in the middle?
But I do think that Democrats need to, in the next election, it's going to be really important midterms. They really need to show who these motherfuckers are in all of our ads. And, I think that our party has done a really terrible job of getting the message out because now we live in a media environment where Democrats really are it's like the minority voice, right? Because Republicans control all of the major social media platforms. The networks are flipping because of monopolies. And Republicans, have been better, especially the Jared Kushner's media machine with Donald Trump, have been better at getting out their message. That I was watching Samsung TV last night. I was watching just this random movie, just because I have a Samsung TV, so I get certain free Samsung TV. It's just whatever right. TV that's built into the television. And I saw Christy Nomads for DHS. I was like, damn. They're targeting these free Tubi and stuff like that, and we're not. We need to get better at that. But anyways, we could talk about this all day long.
All right. Either way, Ted Cruz, turns out he's a backstabbing weasel piece of shit.
Yes. So,
shocker.
And Vance wasn't Cruz's only target. I wonder if I should cut out all of that so we don't confuse the people.
We can cut it and we can put it in after the show.
Yeah, I agree. Ogre Florida woman's rant about Nazis.
Fucking Nazi.
Yeah, punch him in the face, guys. So Vance wasn't Cruz's only target in the 10-minute recordings. He also complained about his daddy, Donald Trump. He claimed that he warned Trump that he was causing retirement accounts to crash and food prices to rise because of his tariffs. And he said that he told the President Art of the Deal that he was going to lose the House and the Senate, which would lead to him being impeached every week for the next 2 years if he didn't cut it out. And Trump reportedly responded by saying, "Fuck you, Ted." When a person at the donor meeting, asked Cruz about Trump branding his tariff announcement as Liberation Day, the senator said, quote, "I've told my team if anyone uses those words, they will be terminated on the spot. That is not language we use." Instead of standing on business and saying, "I said what I said," when Axios asked Cruz about the recordings, a spokesperson for the senator said that that Cruz is the, quote, "the president's greatest ally in the Senate and battles every day in the trenches to advance his agenda."
God, he's such a oh my God.
Could not stand on business, apparently. I would say that I'm surprised Cruz is a spineless loser, but we are talking about the guy that filleted Trump after he called his wife ugly and his dad an assassin. So here we are.
God, he's such a slimy, sleazy piece of shit. My God. All right. Not too long after Trump illegally demolished the East Wing of the White House to build his illegal vanity ballroom, rumors started to swirl around about a secret bunker he was building underneath the ballroom, which would explain the ballooning costs and curiously undetermined size and shape of the tacky monument to Trump's ego. We talked about this back in episode 76. The conversation revolved around the theory that this was going to be a James Bond supervillain lair where the regime could collect all of the data Doge had stolen and put it in a massive surveillance data center to control the entire country. We said this was an incredibly stupid idea. No one would build a weapon that dangerous in the middle of Washington, D.C., knowing it could fall into the hands of the other party. That would be suicidal. More likely, Trump was just an imbecile whose disease-riddled brain kept demanding a bigger and tackier shrine to himself, as well as using the ballroom funding to funnel hundreds of millions of dollars to offshore accounts, because he's a grubby little mafia guy. However, underneath the East Wing is where the emergency presidential bunker was built back during the Cold War. That's where Trump hid like a fucking coward during the George Floyd protests.
Oh.
New reporting says that bunker is being expanded and updated, but not as a super secret James Bond supervillain thing, but as a doomsday bunker. And that makes a lot more sense. Mm-hmm. If you're not already aware of it, most of the tech scumbag billionaires have doomsday bunkers in different parts of the world. Several have compounds in New Zealand because that's apparently the best place to ride out a nuclear war. Mark Zuckerberg has a absolutely massive compound in Hawaii, partially built on the ancestral grave of Native Hawaiians. Personally, I hope he's devoured by their spirits. So if you're Trump and you see all the cool tech billionaires with their doomsday bunkers, you, of course, would demand one too. But you wouldn't want to pay for it because you're Trump and you never pay for anything. So why not have the presidential bunker updated into a billionaire doomsday bunker? It's not like Trump ever plans to leave office, right? We're going to do a segment on those bunkers in a future show because you need to understand just how fucking depraved these assholes are. But for now, we're going to move on.
So we're going to wrap up headlines with a big old fuck you to the regime. If you were not already aware, Jeff Bezos, the billionaire asshole owner of Amazon, paid a $45 million bribe to Melania Trump in the form of a movie deal. The movie? Melania. Have you guys seen the ads for this movie? She goes, you were asking and now you know. Or something equally stupid. I was like, no, nobody was asking. Seriously. It's a documentary about the first lady that literally nobody asked for. I heard that it's like about the first 20 days or the last 20 days leading up until she becomes first lady again or some shit like that. Like,
yeah, like
I don't even know.
I'm sure she did so much then.
Like, oh, we don't care. We care about this documentary as much as she cares about being first lady.
It's a payday.
Just to be clear, documentaries are among the least expensive films to make. Most cost less than $2 million. So Bezos was absolutely pumping money into the Trump crime family's pockets. But people are definitely going to be interested in the former model's life, right? Not really. Despite Trump's claim that the theaters are selling out, hardly any tickets have been sold in the U.S. The film might make $2 to $3 million its opening weekend and then disappear, probably overseas.
Well, no, it's opening overseas at the same time.
Oh, is it opening overseas at the same time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So overseas, though, the news is even better. In the UK, ticket pre-sales for the first day. Hold on a second. Sorry, guys, I didn't read this one. I got distracted by him mansplaining to me earlier.
Girl.
I did. Okay, anyways. Sorry. So the film might make $2 to $3 million its opening weekend and then disappear. Overseas, though, the news is even better. In the UK, ticket pre-sales for the first day and even the busiest theaters are literally in the single digits and zero in the rest. That's embarrassing. Why Amazon thought anyone at all outside of the US was going to give a damn about Donald Trump's wife is a mystery. We barely give a rat's ass about her here. Melania won't mind her moving bombing, of course. She's used to being humiliated for money. Oof. Her husband will be furious, though, because everyone will be laughing at him. Isn't that a shame? And did you hear that Trump, on the same night that Alex Preddy was murdered, Trump had a screening at the White House for this movie, and the CEO of Apple showed up, which is so weird, right?
Ugh.
Tim Cook was there. Why are you there? It's a competitor's documentary. It's weird.
To show his support. Or to laugh.
I wish I didn't have an Apple. I wish I didn't have an iPhone. But he got me addicted to him. So we're going to make a prediction. A few weeks after the movie is streaming on Amazon for free, they'll announce that it's one of the most streamed movies of all time. And no, they can't show you the internal data. You'll just have to trust them because it's definitely 100% true, like honest. Because what's a little bootlicking when multi-billion-dollar mergers and contracts are on the line? Am I right?
Yeah, it's going to be so embarrassing. I can't.
It's already embarrassing. I even heard that Amazon was forcing its executives to go watch the movie.
Well, they have to get an audience somehow.
That's crazy. Like, who wants to watch that movie?
I'm surprised they haven't had outside groups like the Heritage Foundation just start buying out theaters. Just to say, look, oh my God, it's so popular. So many people are going to see it. And then, someone will just be like, that's funny. This theater sold out. Why are the seats all empty?
Yeah, it's just, yuck. So anyways, on to health, oh my God.
This is going to be so much funnier when you have a sock puppet and you're doing this. It's going to be hilarious.
When that sock puppet is glowing.
Well, that's because it's like right there in the light.
It's so extremely Caucasian.
Well, I mean, have you looked at yourself lately?
Yeah. So anyways, on to self-care for the week.
You can always get some fake spray tan.
Absolutely not. My legs are not that white. So my self-care this week was doing absolutely nothing this weekend. I worked for a couple of hours, and then I spent the rest of the time just hanging out with my husband. I read a book that you guys wouldn't have any interest in, and I watched a little bit of TV, nothing in particular. I am still mourning the Bills' loss to the Broncos in the divisional round of the playoffs, but I'm more pissed off about the owner of the team firing our beloved coach and then hiring our OC as the new coach and giving him a 5-year contract, which, maybe this time next year I'm going to say this was the best decision we ever made, but right now I'm not feeling very good about it. I have no idea what's going to happen next year, and I'm pretty annoyed that Stephon Diggs, our former number 1 wide receiver, is going to the Super Bowl with the motherfucking Patriots.
So salty.
And he's dating Cardi B, and everybody knows I love Cardi B. And it was enough that I had to see her baby wearing Patriots clothes. Now I have to see her at the fucking Super Bowl with Patriots jerseys on when it should be my Josh Allen and James Cook there, but the referees don't know what a motherfucking catch is.
Saltiness. So salty.
Ogre actually watched the end of the game that day.
I did. I was watching because I was like, well, if a Florida woman's going to have a heart attack, I should probably watch the reason why.
Oh my gosh, I was so mad. Anywho, I'll be rooting for the Seahawks at the Super Bowl, and I'm hoping that they make this right and crush Stephon Diggs' dreams of winning a Super Bowl without us. Musa.
Okay, so for me, now a few weeks ago, we went to go see a production of High School Musical Junior. One of Anastasia's friends, Imogen, who's also one of the girls in my D&D group, she was in it. So we went to go and support her. Now, I have never seen High School Musical. I was not the target audience when it came out in 2006, and Anastasia was not born yet, so she's never seen it. Neither one of us were familiar with it. And if you're not familiar with it, it is the bastard love child of Grease and Mean Girls, which we thought was absolutely hilarious. Anastasia kept pointing out similarities to Mean Girls, which she's deeply familiar with. And so am I, but she's more familiar with than I am. And I kept pointing out similarities to Grease, which I'm deeply familiar with. And when it was done, I told her, we have to watch Grease, and then we have to watch High School Musical. And we don't need to watch Mean Girls since we've both seen the movie and the musical a bunch of times. So we just need to watch those two movies, and then we can compare all three of them. So on Monday, we watched Grease, and Anastasia was not impressed. The music's good, dancing's fine, but she hated almost all of the characters, which I get because they're pretty much all jerks from start to finish. That's just the characters. And I haven't watched Grease in like 20-something years, but somehow remembered like all the songs. I guess it just left that much of an impression on me. What I didn't remember is how terrible this movie is as an adaptation. Which I was like, oh, huh. Yeah, look at that. I'm used to modern movie adaptations, which the flow of the story is way cleaner than the up on stage theater version. In theater, you expect a certain amount of jumping around with the story because it's a musical. You're there for the music and the dancing, not a smooth narrative. But a movie, that you usually expect a consistent narrative, and you do not get that with Grease. When the movie was over, Anastasia was legitimately confused because it had gone through an entire school year and there's no sense of time passing. Partly because it's in California where there's no seasons, but as far as she could tell, the whole movie took place over maybe 1 or 2 weeks. And I was like, yeah, I could get why you would think that, because there's just no sense of time passing in the slightest. It just kind of jumps from one thing to the next, and there's no real narrative cohesion. It's just this happens, and then this happens, and then there's a song, and then there's another song, and they're not really, and nothing's really related to each other. So that was kind of annoying, and she didn't really enjoy that part of it. But the music's fine, and the dancing was fine. The overall message, not so great. Change yourself for a boy. She was like, bleh. But it was still fun, and now we have to watch High School Musical, and then we can sit there and just do like a little write-up of all three and compare them, because there's a lot of Grease and a lot of Mean Girls in High School Musical, which apparently Anastasia found out High School Musical was supposed to be the third Grease movie. And then they decided to just make it its own thing. And it was like, well, that explains a lot. So, yeah.
My goddaughter was obsessed with High School Musical back in the day.
And apparently for good reason. I mean, those movies really, I mean, Grease was a huge thing for our generation.
Wasn't like Zac Efron in that movie?
Yeah. I mean, that's what launched him. That's what
Yeah,
made him,
that's what I thought.
Zac Efron because of High School Musical.
Yeah, I don't really care for Grease either. It's not my favorite.
I do like the music, but everything else about it is like,
I am a big Dirty Dancing fan, though.
I know I've seen it. I just can't remember anything about it.
And you know what's funny about Dirty Dancing? Part of it was filmed in Lake Lure, which is where I would vacation all the time. And I did not pick Lake Lure because of Dirty Dancing. It wasn't until like I got there that I was like, oh my God. Because you see because in Chimney Rock they sell stuff like Dirty Dancing related. But if you're a Dirty Dancing fan, where Baby carries the watermelon up the stairs, that was filmed there. The beach that they're on at the resort was there, but the actual resort is in Virginia. Actually, the lift scene was filmed in Virginia, I think on that lake that you went to.
Oh, Lake Anna.
Let me check really fast.
Yeah, Morgan says Rock and Roll High School. I've never seen Rock and Roll High School. I know of it. I've never seen it. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to watch that one. And if it has the Ramones in it, how bad could it be?
Oh, Pembroke, Virginia. I was wrong.
What? Wait, Morgan, you don't like Ghost? How do you not like Ghost?
Excuse me?
Ghost is awesome. That movie is so much fun.
I do like Ghost. Because I love Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, I like Ghost.
Yeah, what's wrong with Ghost?
Yeah, I'm not like a huge Patrick Swayze fan, but I love Ghost. Ghost is fun.
I haven't seen Ghost in a long time, but I like Dirty Dancing because I like the music. I like the pro-abortion message.
And I don't remember. I know I've seen it, but I can't remember anything.
Pro-safe abortion message, I would say, because so you haven't seen it in a long time, but one of the girls in the movie gets an abortion, but it's like a back alley abortion. And then she's really, really sick from it.
So do it right.
But no, I mean, I really like Dirty Dancing. I also liked Footloose.
Also, No, I've seen it. Have not watched it since the 80s.
You got to watch those movies with Anastasia. She might like Dirty Dancing.
But it's dirty, scandalous.
Which is so funny. It's so funny that was such an uproar back in the day. And when you look back at it now and you're like, man, I danced worse than that in my 20s when I was drunk.
It's like, but there's not even any twerking in this.
I mean, the song of my generation is hold on. hold on 1 second.
Oh, you're gonna WAP?
No, of course not. Don't be silly. Hold
You're
on.
not drunk enough for that?
Well, she's good. I'm boycotting Cardi B for the next 3 weeks.
Bitter.
This is the song of my generation.
Last summer,
Oh, that's an ad. That's an ad,
thought about
guys.
doing a lot of crazy things, but instead, I called Terminix.
I don't have YouTube TV. Come on, there has to be some millennials in our chat.
Cash Money Records taking over for the 99.
No?
Nope, no idea.
That's the song of the nursing homes. When I'm nursing home age, we'll be playing Back That Ass Up. I know that we have millennials in this chat. I hope that you're all shaking your ass right now. Anyways.
All right.
This has been a fun pod. Totally not as serious as it should have been.
Yeah, we were all over the fucking place today.
It's like I gave you ADHD.
See what happens when you take a week off?
I know. You guys are just so happy to have me back.
Cohesion. All professional cohesion goes right out the window.
I am 40.
Yep, she's in her 40s.
I'm 40.
40s. Right.
It's sad. I hate being 40. It's so weird being 40 years old and having a 7-year-old because I had my first son when I was 19. So now I've experienced being the youngest mom in the room and the oldest mom in the room.
Oh, God. That's funny. It's like, oh, look at all these little babies with their little children.
I will say, actually, that it seems like a lot more people my age are having... Like, it seems like a lot more women had kids in their 30s because there are a lot of moms that are my age, but...
Well, that was weird. Like, last year, right, when we first met most of the girls, right, in the D&D group, we got together with their parents. And now, they're all the same age, right? They're all, at the time, they were all 15. And one of them was 14. And I just assumed that the parents would be 10 years younger than us. And they weren't. All of them were our age. All of them. And I was like, that's odd. Every single one of you is right in our age group. And we had kids late.
Yeah, it's weird. I think just a lot more women are deciding to put their careers ahead of having kids. Because when Aiden was born, I was seriously the youngest mom. I mean, I had him when I was 19, So he went to school when I was, 24, 23? So, it was super young.
Yeah, no, it was just, I was very, very surprised to find out they were all our age. They were all in their 50s.
It is like, nice though.
Look at that. I thought we were just gonna be like old people, like talking to youngins. Nope. What
I don't like is being the same age as his teachers who have been teaching for 2 years. I don't like that. That's been a problem. All right, let's wrap
this up. All right, that is it for today's show. The Opinionated Ogre podcast, like the newsletter, is free and 100% supported by you, our amazing audience. We have no advertisers or sponsors, so please consider becoming a paid subscriber for only $5 a month or just $50 a year. If you'd prefer a one-time donation, we now have a PayPal button for your convenience.
Yes, and thank you everybody who's used it.
Yay, we love you. You can also help by giving us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening. Help others join the Ogre Nation conversation by sharing the Odd Pod on whatever social media platform you're using. You can find me at The Opinionated Ogre on Substack, Blue Sky, and also on TikTok. Florida Woman, where can our beloved audience find you?
You can find me at Florida Woman Rants on Substack.
Excellent. The next Blue Wave is coming November 3rd, 2026. Just 277 days until we storm the beaches and stomp the Nazis in the dirt. Punch a Nazi. They cannot stop us. Remember, you are never alone. We beat the fascists once, and we will fucking do it again. Adios.
Adios. In all seriousness, is Frederick coming back next week?
As of right now, yes. I will have to confirm with him. But he did say that he would be able to do it. So I will make sure.
Perfect.
And yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, little housekeeping note. Florida Woman will not be with us again next week. She's abandoning me again.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is that I was supposed to be gone. I was actually here last week, but not on the show because it was just too much to like rearrange everything. So I listened to the show instead. But my uncle's insurance company denied his treatment, which is fucking wild. So they canceled all of his appointments for his new, it's like targeted therapy and chemotherapy. And then they rescheduled them for February 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. But he rescheduled them. So he rescheduled them for times that don't really work for my life. Which is okay. I understand. Like, I just want to get his treatment going. I just don't know if they're going to, like, who knows what's going to happen. They might cancel all of his appointments again tomorrow. We don't know because the insurance company is like, no, we don't want you to live.
Don't worry, Morgan. She'll be back the week after. And after that, she'll have her own puppet. And then we can both be puppets together.
My puppet.
Here. She'll be over here.
My puppet looks drunk.
Well, that's because she's hollow inside.
I should get I should go get like an empty like liquor bottle. Just attach it to its arm.
Just get a little toy. Get a little toy bottle. And
just like one of those, like, you know, the 99-cent ones that they sell at the liquor. Yeah, I actually walk like 2.5 miles a day.
Wow, that's more than I walk in like a month.
I hope that's not true.
I try to avoid walking.
I'm gonna beat your ass if that's true.
What? My legs are sexy. I don't need to walk.
Okay. Oh shit!
Ah!
Sorry, guys.
All right, we're gonna let you guys go now. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye. I'm gonna edit tonight. Goodbye.
Okay, have fun with that.